Good morning. My name is Belinda. The concept of S2C, spelling to communicate, is an educational method that focuses on using gross motor skills in order to communicate. When people are able to speak and move their mouth, that requires fine motor skills. But if you are an individual, a non-speaker that may have apraxia, then you have challenges using your fine motor skills. And so that's where the method comes in to help them use their gross motor skills by holding a pencil with their hand and using their arm to poke through a letterboard, forming one word at a time, one letter at a time, to form eventually sentences and paragraphs, and the final goal becoming open, which just means having open dialogue. The ethical responsibilities are very critical in S2C that fall on practitioners, like practitioner influence and doing everything you can to avoid that. There are two types of influence, direct and indirect. An example of direct influence would be when, a non-speaker is spelling out a word and they may have spelled 2 or 3 letters so far, and you think you know what the word is going to be. Like we talked about in class, if, they spelled the word SN and the practitioner said, oh, they're saying the word snack. That's not true. It could be hundreds of words. And so it is very critical that practitioners do not interrupt the process. And that would be one of the strategies, is allow them to finish spelling every word. Have the patience. An example of indirect influence would be, expressing yourself through your nonverbal language. An example of that might be like if your non-speaker says something that you don't agree with. That should never be a thing. Non-speakers have the right to have agency and autonomy and to feel the freedom of that. It's critical that for probably the first time in their life, they feel like they have freedom to make choices for themselves. Just even everyday small choices of what they want to eat, what they want to wear, but also bigger decisions of, their medical health and making decisions in regards to that. So it is not a practitioner's job to have opinions about their opinions. I think it's their job to just help them communicate, even if you don't agree with the words. I don't think there should be any form of editing, altering, or censorship. Like, for example, if, they wanted to use a cuss word, really to watch your nonverbal cues, making sure that you don't have a look of disappointment on your face, because that definitely does influence a non-speaker, just using your nonverbals. And yeah, that it's essential to protect, their natural right to autonomy and agency. I couldn't imagine not having that every day. So that's a huge ethical responsibility that falls on the practitioner. Those are the strategies that I would use, just having the patience and really watching my nonverbal language, making sure I'm not giving cues to influence one way or the other, just to be very neutral and just focus on them and what they have to say. Thank you.